Hello, Facebook world. I am back with a little pop of positivity for you. And this one, I'm not gonna lie, it makes me a little bit nervous. So I might be a little shaky at the beginning, so bear with me. But I always tell the people I coach and on my team and that I work with that you have to lean into your fears, that the things that scare you are the things that change you. So here I am, and I'm about to share some vulnerable, scary stuff with you guys, but I hope it can kind of maybe inspire something within each of you. So I am getting back from a really amazing conference that was all about, personal growth and community and elevating your life and all that great stuff. And these are things that I used to kind of be very, skeptical of and wouldn't really involve myself in, to be honest with you. But over the last couple of years, I've totally changed my life, and I've become this person I never used to be, and it's been amazing. And so I have a lot of people that I work with to do the same, and people reach out to me a lot asking, how they can work with me and how they can get started, and, what this opportunity I always talk about is really all about. And so I thought, as opposed to just sharing it privately, I would kind of just put it all out there and share with all of you guys, because you never know who's listening or who's watching or who could just use a little push towards something that they've always wanted to do, but they've been too scared to do. So that's kind of my hope with our positivity today. So for those of you that are not familiar with me or any of my story, I'm Nicole. Hi, nice to meet you, virtually meet you. I am a 3-time cancer survivor, and I'm not even 31 yet. And sometimes putting that out there and thinking about that it's a little crazy, it's a little scary, and I look about the path of my life and where I've come, and it's kind of terrifying. But if you've ever faced cancer and know someone who's faced cancer, you know that first off, it's terrifying, and getting that news, it's news I don't wish on anyone. But it can be a secret blessing in disguise, because it gives you a whole new perspective on life and what really means the most, and it makes you live a little bit more intentionally each day. And so, that's kind of what my passion is all about now. Is I've become a coach, and I've become someone who helps to lift people up and try to help people live in a way that, their actions inspire greatness in others, and help them design a life around the things that mean the most to them, because I realize how precious life is. And I love nothing more than giving people the freedom and the flexibility that I have been able to bring about in my own life, so that they can make the most of their life as well. So, for those of you that aren't familiar, I do my own business. I am a coach. I am now a certified life coach. I have it's Holy Wonderful Wellness, but I got started, and this all began because of Beachbody coaching. And a lot of people might have, their own ideas about what this is all about, or, what it can mean to them. But I kind of want to share a little bit of light with you guys about, my journey and how this has evolved with time and how it's truly changed my life. And it's really hard sometimes when people ask me to talk about what this opportunity has done for me, because it's given me life. And I know that might sound crazy, it might sound deep, it might sound foo-foo, whatever you want to think, but it's true. So I ask that you hear me out, and whether you're thinking about this opportunity or working with me, or whether you're just starting to question your own life and about taking a big risk or a big leap of faith, I hope that maybe I can inspire you or give you that little boost of confidence you need, because why not? You never know what you're made of, and you never know what you have to lose. So to start, I'm gonna share a little bit of my story and the way that this has kind of evolved at times, so that you guys can kind of see what's possible with it. So I am someone who didn't have the best childhood. I gotta take it way back to the beginning for you guys, just so you know, so you can see the ebbs and flows. I didn't have the best childhood. I never knew my dad. Me and my mom didn't have the best relationship. She faced a lot of demons, and so I was forced to grow up really, really fast. At a young age, I kind of learned that I just wanted more than what my mother was doing. I wanted more than the life that she was living. And while that might sound harsh, it was kind of like a driving force for most of my life. And so at a very young age, I learned to take care of myself, and I started to work as soon as I could. Work for me kind of became how I identified myself. It became how I saw myself getting past the situation and circumstances I was in. And I kind of became a workaholic. I never really had someone in my house cheer me on or pushing me forward or getting me involved with sports or anything like that. I was kind of alone a lot, and I did have friends and stuff, but outside of school, I would be working, and I just wanted to get forward in life. And so I kind of became a workaholic pretty young. And then I went to college, and I loved being in college and being on my own and kind of getting away from that environment I had to grow up in. I worked 3 jobs through school. to get myself through, because again, I just had these bigger visions about where I want to be. And for me, I thought if I worked hard, I could overcome my circumstances. And after school, I decided, I got a job and I became obsessed with the idea. I realized at that point that I kind of, well, now looking back on it, I identified with work, like where I never had anyone in my house kind of cheer me on or lift me up or any of those good things. Work became kind of where I found my value, if you will. And so I kind of like became a full-on workaholic, and I worked days, I worked nights, I worked weekends, because I became obsessed with the idea of climbing that corporate ladder. And I kind of saw that, success in life was based on how you performed on the job. And for a while it was great. Like I had my dream job. It was really amazing. And I loved putting in the time and the effort to kind of push myself forward. And in my mid-20s is when I faced my first scare with melanoma. And so this was the first time I really had to like look at myself through a different lens, because here I was, this girly girl who never played sports, who never really did anything, and thought I had confidence, but I came to realize that the way I found like my self-confidence was through kind of, it might sound superficial, but I love being tan, and I loved, being really blonde, and all of a sudden like that stuff had to change. And I had these scars, and I realized that, I really didn't have any inner self-confidence. Like I really didn't even know who I was. And I so badly needed a win just to like feel good about being me. And so at that point I was introduced to like my first at-home fitness program. And for me, someone who was a girly girl and never played sports, like there was no way, I just didn't like the idea of like, going to classes to go to the gym or anything like that at that point. I loved the idea of doing something in the privacy of my own home that would be about me against me. And I fell in love with fitness. Like it taught me about how fitness helps you transform, not only your physical, but your mental, about setting goals, about elevating yourself, about feeling good from the inside out. And so I fell in love with fitness, and like that's what kind of like gave me the confidence to start doing classes and to start, putting myself out there a little bit more. And it kind of gave me like this little boost in life, lifts you up. And so, things were good for a little while. I went back to, I was at work. I continued to pour my heart into it. I was in a great relationship. I bought a house. I did all these things that seemed like really like from the outside looking in, like I was successful, right? But there was something off, and like there was still something within me that was kind of like questioning things about life, because you had, again, if you've ever had to face cancer, it just makes you look at things differently, right? And so a little while later, my mom, she passed away. And so this might sound harsh, but when she passed away, I realized, she kind of wasted her life. And I know that sounds harsh, but it was kind of true. And it kind of opened me up in life. It helped me realize, like, look at life again through a whole new lens. And this is when I first started to like ask myself, what's my purpose? Which is a really deep question. If you've ever wondered like what your purpose is, like that hits you at the core, like that's something that you don't want to have to like be in limbo on that, So I started to just question a lot of what I was doing, and I'm wondering, could I do more? Like, how can I help people? Like all these questions started to go through my mind. And it was around then that I was in a position that I was traveling a lot for work. I was in, multiple cities at a time, and a friend of mine, knew I had used the fitness programs, recommended I get started with some of our nutrition supplements. And when I fell in love with it, she was like, you might be a really good coach. Like, have you ever considered it? And I won't lie, I was really skeptical at first, and I had no idea what it was all about. But I knew that I wanted to have a little bit more fulfillment in my life. And so I kind of just fell in love with the idea of, people were asking me what I was doing because I had more confidence and more energy, and I just felt good. And so I just started by sharing what worked for me. And it became like this very like part-time hobby that just gave me that fulfillment in life, that I was making a difference in people's lives. And I loved it. And then it became, this little buffer of like my travel fund, like a little flexible part-time thing that I could do to make some money to travel more. And so it was great, and I fell in love with it. And then from there, unfortunately, I had my second scare with melanoma. And this is the point where I was kind of like, really, is this really happening again? And that's when I started to question, am I happy? Am I living? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, is this all there is? That question of, is there something more? Time is so precious. I don't want to waste it. And it's kind of a blessing and a curse when you do face cancer, because you realize how precious life is, but then you also always have this freedom not to waste any time, and you start to just question everything, which can be good and can be bad, So that happens. And then my grandmother got, so I say I didn't have a supportive system in home with me, but I did have really great extended support. My grandmother who made sure I had great school, and I have, aunts and uncles and everything, but my grandmother was like my shining light in life, everything I did was to make her proud. And she kind of sat me down one day and she called me out on the fact that I wasn't happy. And she's like, you're capable, like, you're not happy. Like, you should be doing something on your own. Like, you have amazing work ethic, you know. You should be starting your own business. I want you to come to me with ideas of different things you can do. And this kind of like, it touched me at my soul, because it was really amazing to see that she saw so much more in me, you know, that she believed in me that much. And so it was kind of like, all right, I got to think about this a little bit, you know. And then unfortunately, a couple days later, she actually she had a stroke, and her health completely kind of deteriorated, and our priorities became much different. And I am someone who is I'm very independent, and I've always thought that asking for help was a sign of weakness. And so I saw this woman who was like my shining light in life, one of the strongest, most powerful women I've ever seen. You know, she was a nurse, she helped others, she raised 5 children on her own. I could go on and on about her. She was a true ray of light in life. And I would have done anything to help her. Like, I just wanted to take away her pain, just wanted to keep her, you know? And this is when I realized that asking and giving help is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a true sign of strength, you know? And so after she passed away, I had this weight on me to, you know, I realized yet again how precious life is and how nothing's guaranteed. And so I had this weight on me to to take her advice, to figure out something to do on my own, to kind of carry out her legacy in a way, you know, like do something that she would be proud of. And so that's when I decided to treat this little hobby I had to explore it more as a business. And I was like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm going to see what this is all about. Like, why not just see? Ironically enough, about a month later, that job I had dedicated years to and loved and thought was going to bring me like all this success, they restructured and I got laid off. So all of a sudden one day I was like, oh, nope, you don't have a job. And while that was terrifying and totally could have crippled me, I kind of took it as a sign. You know, the timing of it was a little eerie, and so I took it as a sign from my grandmother that, you know, all right, this is your chance. You found something you believe in. You found something you're passionate about. You found something that can help people. Like, give it your all. And so I went all in with it, and people thought I completely lost my mind. There were people that reached out with job offers, which I'm still eternally grateful for. Like, thank you so much. But I had to give myself a chance. And over the next 2 years, while that was terrifying and a roller coaster of highs and lows, what I will tell you about taking that leap of faith on yourself is you learn so much about yourself. Like, there is nothing quite like, in order to start your own business or to do something like that, your business only grows as much as you grow. And so you become so much more self-aware, and you figure out strengths you never knew you had. And so it helps you grow and learn to find like your true value and find something more in yourself, which is truly amazing. So I cannot say enough about what that can do for you. But also for me, where I had just been let go from this company I'd worked with for about 8 years at that point, like on a whim, you know, I felt so disposable. So for me, I was like, no, like, I want to start something where people feel appreciated and feel part of something, you know, something bigger than just themselves. And so, you know, for me, like, I decided I'm not going to do this alone. Like, this is why I need a team of people, you know, other people who have a passion for life, a true heart of gold, that love pouring into other people, that, you know, lead with like a servant's heart, if you will. And so, you know, how often do you go to work because you have to go to work and you're not appreciated and you're not built up and it's kind of just expected, right? I didn't want that. So I decided to create this community of positivity where it was all about making people feel appreciated, making people feel part of something, making people find something more in themselves. And so that was kind of like what led me and fueled me. And it's been an amazing whirlwind. And, you know, from someone who, I told you, my grandmother was my everything, and she always encouraged me to travel. And so it became like my dream to travel as often and always as I could. And because when I travel, I feel closer to her. And I was able to bring this opportunity with me on my travels. And it's been a dream come true because I've been to on like over 35 trips in 2 years, which is insane. And I feel so blessed, and I've been to, you know, Australia and Bali and Asia, which is amazing, but I can't say anything about, it's more so the growth and the way that you learn to believe in yourself when you lean into those things that scare you and you lean into those things that seem crazy, like, what am I doing? You find out what you're truly made of, and it allows you to kind of build that life that, you know, makes you feel high on life every day. It's pretty amazing. And so I joke that the last 2 years I've been living out like my own eat, pray, love. But it's been the most amazing experience ever. And I've been able to bring some truly amazing people along with me, people that are just true powerhouses in life who inspire me more than they'll ever know. And to my team, if you guys are watching, I don't know where I would be without you. You guys have become my why every day, day in and day out, and I cannot wait for the day that we get to just like travel together all over the world. But that's on a side note. So yeah, so the last 2 years I've figured out who I am, and it's evolved, and it started as a part-time hobby turned business. Now I'm a certified life coach, and it brings about all these different things. And what's really cool is I've been able to figure out what my true passions are, my true strengths, and tie them into my day-to-day and help other people do the same. But I think the most powerful thing is I share this opportunity a lot with people because, like I said, it's been a blessing in my life, the way it's allowed me to do all of these things. And why wouldn't I want to share that? Why wouldn't I want to help other people live their life the way it has for me? But it's made a shift in this last year from, a blessing to an obligation. And that's why I'm here sharing this with you guys today, is because, so after that like whirlwind where, imagine everything that could possibly go wrong in your life going wrong. Like I lost my mom, I lost my grandmother, I lost my job, ended that long-term relationship that I thought was like the relationship, faced cancer a couple times, all these things went wrong. And then I finally got back on my 2 feet and I felt like life was good again. And I got the news that I had thyroid cancer this past year. And I won't lie, it was like a punch in the face. And it almost crippled me. Like I remember I had a thought, like, what's the point? And at that point, like I cringed because that's not something you do. Like you don't think like that. That's just not okay. Especially where I knew like, life is precious. And so for me, I knew I had to take like a little step back and I had to focus on like getting through that tough time. And what's the most amazing thing is like this opportunity, it makes you first and foremost focus on yourself, on like your own self-awareness, your own self-love, like your own mindset. And because I had built it to the point where, I was able to take a step back from without having to worry about, time off or finances or insurance or any of that stuff, and just focus on me, like focus on getting through it. And I did. And so when I got through it, I all of a sudden made this shift of thinking like, wow, this is a lesson to know this is an obligation, right? Like I have to share this with people because the fact of the matter is there is so much uncontrollable in life, like so many things you never know it's going to come your way or try to knock you down. And God forbid, something does like try to knock you down, like cancer, or God forbid, there's something going on with your child or marital problems or who knows what it might be. You got to be able to still carve out that time for yourself to get through it. And, what this opportunity has done for me, it's given me the freedom and the flexibility to build my life around the things that mean the most and to have a little bit of control over those uncontrollable things so that I can overcome those uncontrollable. And so that's like what I share with people. And so when people ask me, what I do as a coach and like what my team is all about and like, why should I join you? Obviously I'm like, I could talk about this for hours and hours, to be honest. Like I'm so passionate about this. But I guess in closing, what I want to let you guys know is that I like to think that like what we do is we live in a way that our actions inspire greatness in others. And we believe in people until they believe in themselves. So we help you find something more in yourself so that you can really dig deep and you can build that life around the things that mean the most to you. So you can find that strength and that mindset, live with positivity and passion each day so that you can always overcome the things that try to knock you down so you can make the most of life. Because from someone who's had to ask themselves 3 times now, am I going to get through this? Am I going to die? And like the weight that comes with that and how terrifying that is, it's something that you can kind of, if anything you can take from this message is, I want you to think about like the end of your life and if you would be happy with the path you're on right now, if you're doing all the things you're capable of doing, are you living each day, intentionally, are you here like fully and present in each moment? Are you able to do the things that mean the most to you now? And if you're not, start doing them because you never know. And as deep as that might be, it's true. But it's truly powerful way to look at life, and it changes your whole life. So wherever you are, if you're considering, joining me or, starting your own business or maybe, I don't know, picking up a new hobby, whatever it might be, just, do the things that scare you a little bit more. Like lean into those fears, lean into the things that help you grow, and truly challenge yourself to live with intention each day. So that is my message for you guys, to figure out what's really possible. Just go all in. All right. Have a great day.